This audio program by Radio AI is generated using artificial intelligence technologies. The voices you hear in this program are synthetic, and the thoughts they express are shaped through artificial intelligence-driven reasoning and iterative refinement.
Welcome to Radio AI. Today we're taking a deep dive into something most of us know pretty well, maybe too well: urban traffic congestion.
Yeah, that daily grind for so many people.
Exactly. And it's much more than just a bunch of cars stuck on a road, right? It's this really complex mix of physical space, how many people want to travel, and frankly, just human behavior.
That's a great way to put it.
So our mission today is to unpack some of the maybe surprising reasons cities get so clogged up and look at the solutions, which aren't always what you'd first think.
Indeed. Our intuition often points to simple fixes, but the reality of congestion challenges those easy answers right away.
Okay, let's get into that. So many people, myself included, sometimes think just build more roads or widen the lanes. Seems logical.
It feels logical, absolutely.
But there's this concept called the paradox of induced demand. What's going on there?
Right. Well, what's fascinating and maybe a bit frustrating is that adding new road capacity, a new lane, a whole new highway, it often only cuts down travel time for a little while.
Only temporarily.
Yeah, pretty often. Think about it. A new highway opens, and maybe for a few weeks, your commute is shorter. Great. But then, a couple of things tend to happen. First, you get these suppressed trips. Journeys people just weren't making before because the traffic was so bad. Now it's easier, so they start driving. And second, you see new development pop up.
New houses, new businesses along the easier route.
Exactly. And all those new trips quickly fill up the extra space. Sometimes you end up right back where you started, traffic-wise, or even worse off.
Wow.
And this rebound effect, it kind of depends on how flexible our travel needs are. Economists call it elasticity of demand.
Okay.
So commuting to work is usually less elastic. You kind of have to go, right? So you'll probably drive even if traffic's bad.
Yeah, makes sense.
But maybe deciding whether to drive across town to a specific shopping mall, that's more elastic. If the traffic looks awful, you might just go somewhere closer or, order online.
That's really insightful. And yeah, a bit disheartening if you're stuck in traffic hoping for a quick fix. So, okay, if just adding lanes isn't the magic bullet, we need to manage the demand side. Pricing mechanisms come up a lot here.
Exactly. If you think about it bigger picture, congestion basically means we're not properly valuing that scarce road space, especially at peak times.
So charging people more to drive when it's busiest, like dynamic tolls or access fees.
Precisely. The idea is to make the cost of driving reflect its collective impact. If it costs more during rush hour, maybe some people shift their trips. Maybe they take the train. Maybe they carpool.
But that immediately brings up fairness, doesn't it?
Yeah.
What about people who can't afford higher tolls but still need to drive at those times? Lower-income commuters, for instance.
That's a critical question, and it's absolutely key. These pricing ideas really shouldn't create a system where only the wealthy can drive freely. So strong public transit investments are crucial alongside this. Maybe targeted subsidies or discounts for certain groups. It's about balancing efficiency with equity.
And public acceptance must be a hurdle.
Oh, definitely. But it can change. Sometimes when cities implement these things carefully and people see benefits like faster commutes or better bus services funded by the revenue, opinions can evolve.
Okay, so managing demand is one angle. What about fundamentally changing cities so we don't need to travel as much or as far? Redesigning the urban form itself.
Yeah, that's a really compelling longer-term approach. Shortening the distances between homes, jobs, shops, schools.
Making things more walkable, bikeable, mixed-use neighborhoods.
Exactly. Compact development. But like everything, it has trade-offs, especially if it's not managed well. Building more densely can push up housing prices, which is a huge issue.
Right, affordability.
And it can change the character of neighborhoods people love. Plus, you need the infrastructure, water, power, transit to support more people in one area. Getting that balance right, listening to all the different people involved, that needs really careful participatory planning.
Lots to juggle there. And then there's technology. We all use navigation apps now. What about things like self-driving cars? Is that the future that solves congestion?
Well, technology offers possibilities, for sure. Automation, in theory, could allow vehicles to drive closer together, maybe smoothing outflow, but there's a lot of nuance there, too.
Like what?
Well, first, there are big hurdles just to get widespread adoption. and huge risks, like cybersecurity. Imagine some... No, definitely not. Ultimately, congestion is a reflection of, well, all the choices we make, how we design cities, our economic incentives, even cultural preferences about how we like to live and move. Tackling it means finding this balance between efficiency, fairness, and sustainability. And the right mix of solutions will look different in, say, a super dense city versus a more spread out suburban area.
Which really leads to a great question for everyone listening.
Yeah, what values does your city, your community seem to prioritize when it comes to how people get around and the quality of urban life? That's something we're thinking about.
That's a really insightful thought to leave with. We really hope this deep dive has given you some fresh perspectives on this very common urban headache, maybe pushing past those first easy assumptions. Thank you so much for joining us here on Radio AI.
Thanks for listening.
We'd genuinely love to hear your thoughts or reflections down in the comments below. Hope to have you with us again on Radio AI. Until next time.